All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend. And hey, how about the market, right? I mean, finishing off again on all-time highs. Pretty crazy. So, that being said, still not a lot to choose from. We're in earnings season. I'm trying to avoid putting on any trades where earnings are within like 2 weeks. So, a little bit of it's about five stocks. So it's not that big of a deal. Four stocks, excuse me, not five. Um, and I apologize, gang. Three of these are undefined. Only the future is defined. I'm trying to throw a little bit of everything out there, but this scan, really, there just wasn't enough that I felt was good to go defined, right? I'll touch on that really quick. Like the vertical spreads, I would prefer if I'm going to do any defined, I'd do vertical spreads versus iron condors. Iron condors are just really hard to defend. Um, and it's still skewed to the put side. And with us being on all-time highs, it's really hard to find anything that looks good. That's also going to give you that good credit with a good IV. And on the call side, if we were to, short the market here, there's just not enough credit there without going way too close to the money. And I don't like doing that. So I apologize, guys. It's more of, skewed strangles here. And I do have one vertical spread, but it is on a futures. All right. So let's just go ahead and jump into this. First one that I'm looking at here is soybeans. I'm watching it on the hourly chart. We do have a nice medium squeeze here. We're picking up a little bit of energy, and we pulled back to that 8 EMA. Now I know we are on all-time highs with it, and I'll show you over here. But we got momentum. We have conviction. I feel like the soybeans are going to keep pushing up here a little bit, at least enough to make our profit that we're looking for. So with soybeans, another reason why I don't want to not take this trade, right, or why I want to take this trade, the IVR 65%. That is one of the very few stocks and futures here that have such a high IV that you almost have to put a trade on, right? So I'm looking in June 25th. That is 47 days out for those that don't have Tasty. Okay, and I'm looking at selling about a 22 delta play here. Right, I want to sell the 1510 puts and buy those 1500s behind it. Going to give pretty much a 70% probability here. About $125 in credit, and your max loss is 325 or 375, excuse me. So it's not quite that 1/3 the width there, but like I said, because we're near these highs, I want to give a little bit of wiggle room in case it does pull back some more before taking back off. And these probabilities, that's going to make it worth it. So 40, 50, maybe even 60% what I'll go for on this one. All right. Now, the next one that I have on watch here is going to be Carnival Cruise Line. Okay. So Carnival, you can see here on the 10x bars, yellow, consolidating, been in this range, pretty much said since the end of February, just hanging out, going sideways. There is a little bit of a light squeeze on it, but I'm not worried about it too much here. And 78-minute, we're also sideways, right? So definite good consolidation here on this one. IVR is okay. I mean, we've been having a hard time finding anything, but with a 12.5 IVR, the implied volatility is fairly nice at 62, so it's still pretty high. So with this one, okay, I'm looking at selling the 20 puts and those 35 calls. That's going to lean it short about 8 deltas, which is good. We need some short deltas. Great probabilities, 85 pop. Now, the only issue I have is it's 47 cents. Now, not too big of a deal. I ideally always like to get at least a buck in credit. So I'm going to start bidding this right around 50 cents with 2-3 contracts here. Okay. And with 2 contracts, if you get 50 cents, it's $100 and only putting up $500 in buying power. Just to show you, it's really, if you take the mid price right now, it's very cheap, $200 for 47 cents. Now, if I don't get filled at 50, I'll still do 2 or 3 contracts, 47, 48 cents. Really good odds on this one. Leans it short, well past expected move, okay? Let's see. Next one here is gonna be Marvell. Marvell's doing the same thing. Okay, so Marvell's hanging out near that 200-day moving average, sideways. We have a very low squeeze, so it's not doing a whole lot. We're just kind of trending here in this range. Earnings isn't till June, so we're pretty good here. I feel confident on this one. This also has decent IVR, which is good, and it's going to give a little bit of short deltas as well. So 28.5 IVR, that's good. June, you're talking almost 45. Implied volatility, also good. So doing a short skewed strangle, right? Lean this a little bit to the downside. I want to sell those 40 puts and sell those 52.5 calls. It's going to give about $115 in credit, 72 pop, 86 P50. Cheap to put on, only $460. Okay, as you can see, it's past expected move. And again, it leans at 2 deltas short. So getting a little bit more short deltas in there. Defined risk on this one, it's just not there, right? 66 cents. And while I wouldn't go any higher than 41, that turns it into a 6 wide because there's not enough strikes on that side. So I apologize, just not enough here to do any sort of defined risk. All right. And then lastly here is going to be WDC. And WDC also in a slight uptrend, but pretty much consolidating since February. We got 10x bars that are neutral, so not a whole lot going on there. Does have a little bit of a squeeze. So on this one, I am looking to lean it oh so tiny bit long. Okay, but again, a strangle as well. So past all-time highs, down past support, give some wiggle room here. So looking in June, right? And it's going to be selling the 62.5 puts and selling those 85 calls. $160 in credit, $700 in buying power, 75 pop. Really nice here, gang. It's gonna, like I said, it's gonna lean it almost 3/4 of a delta long, so just a little bit. Defining it, man, again, it's close, but I wouldn't get too. I mean, you gotta look. See, I would take that credit, but right at expected move, 24, 22 delta. Not even a 60 pop. I really don't like that. I like to be like 65% ish on an iron condor. So, but that is an option you can do there. You really can't go any further out unless you try to go maybe, 7 wide, 7.5 wide. That doesn't work. Yeah. So it's just not really anything to do here unless you want 80 cents. Okay. I apologize, but nothing this week looked good. Now, it may change during the week. So, guys, I also do daily watch lists. So if you want to have more opportunities, got to come check us out. In chat, we do a daily scan as well to find more opportunities if our current watch list is not sufficient enough. Okay. That being said, gang, I am going to be hosting another live week for people to come try out. Stay tuned to look for an email coming in about the next week or so with more details on that. So if you're watching this on Facebook, guys, give me a like, hit the follow button. If you're following me on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button and that bell for notifications. And hope to see you all soon. Have a great rest of your weekend.